achieved.
Hey, what's going on everyone? I'm Scylol, and for today's video we're going to take a look at the Necromancer. The Necromancer is one of my favorite professions in Guild Wars 2 because of its capability to soak up damage, control enemies, and summon minions at will. The Necromancer is a caster that uses light armor, but don't underestimate the Necromancer's potential to outlast enemies. Every profession in Guild Wars 2 has something that makes them unique. The Necromancer has certain abilities that give him life force. Life force is also gained when enemies die near the Necromancer. The life force that the Necromancer builds up can be used to enter Death Shroud. Death Shroud drains the life force you have and also changes the first 5 abilities on your skill bar. When you are in this form, your normal health bar does not get depleted, and the Death Shroud will end when your life force runs out or the player cancels the ability. Since the Necromancer has access to Death Shroud and life stealing abilities, this will make them one of the hardest professions to kill in the game. Necromancers have 3 specific trait lines and a trait line for each of the weapons they can use. The first trait line is Soul Reaping. This trait focuses on buffs to stats of the character, such as buffs to power, precision, or toughness. The next trait line is called Blood Rituals. These traits make your marks and wells regenerate faster, reduce the duration of some conditions, and buff your sacrifice damage. The last trait line is Minion Mastery. This one is pretty straightforward. It gives things such as increased minion damage or increases the number of minions summoned. The weapons that the Necromancer has access to are a staff, a scepter, an axe, and a dagger. Offhands include focus, warhorns, and daggers. Each of these weapons will specialize in certain areas such as AoE attacks, stealing health from enemies, or damaging enemies at close range. The first type of skill for the Necromancer are minions. This skill is probably the trademark of the Necromancer. The Necromancer has 5 different minions that he can summon, and each of them have their own unique things about them. All of the minions' abilities are sequence skills, which means another skill will become available once the minion is summoned. The second skills include things such as exploding your minion, sacrificing it to heal yourself, or even teleporting to your minion's location. When the Necromancer uses his elite skill, another minion skill becomes available. This minion skill doesn't have a sequence, so you can keep summoning them. You can have up to 8 of these minions at a time, and they will even last once the elite skill ends. If traded to improve minion skills, a Necromancer can have up to 60 minions up at once. The second skill type are wells. Wells affect the area around the Necromancer, and the Necromancer can only have 1 well active at a time. Wells might do things such as heal allies or damage enemies, or even convert enemy boons to conditions. The last skill type are marks. Unlike wells, marks are targeted ground abilities and will activate after a short period of time or when the Necromancer manually activates it. These marks will do things such as damage and heal enemies or transfer conditions from allies to enemies. Necromancers also have a condition that no other profession has in the game, and that's Fear. Fear, like most conditions, are removable and sends the enemy fleeing directly away from the Necromancer for a short time. That's all for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the upcoming weeks, the videos will be all about the professions in the game. Don't forget to hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all next week.